ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river.
Good morning. We invite you to find your seats and prepare for this morning's service. On behalf of the Worship Committee, welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Columbia. My name is Kate Heald, and our minister is the Reverend Stephen Robinson. We stream all Sunday services on YouTube and Zoom. You are always welcome to join us in any way you choose. For more information about UUCC, please visit our website at uucolumbia.org and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We also provide weekly email updates each Thursday. We warmly welcome families with children and provide childcare during our service for infants and children up to the age of 4. To be a volunteer, please see Bethany Storlazzi. We have a seating area in the back of the sanctuary, especially for children ages 4 to 7 and their parents. You may bring toys found at the back of the social hall for quiet play. Nancy Shillington Perez has a special announcement regarding our Share the Plate initiative for 2025. Nancy?
There. Hello, can you hear me? Yes, hi. I'm the chair for Share the Plate, which you all give so incredibly generously of every week, perhaps monthly, whatever that may be. I'm here to let you know that it's also possible you could give just one donation and have that divided up throughout the year in 12 different donations. Aside from that, perhaps many of you have already seen, I hope so, if you've read the e-blast for this past week, voting is now started. So thank you to those of you who so kindly took the time to nominate recipients for Share the Plate. Those are nonprofit organizations, 501c3 organizations in our community, and we share half our cash collections every month with ones that you get to vote on. And how do you do that? You can go into your order service and find a piece of paper that looks like this. There are 11 categories here. The 12th is for the minister's discretionary fund. There are 2 in each category. Please choose 1 in each category or skip over any particular category. These can be handed in on the table out in the foyer. There's a little box that says Share the Plate. Please deposit those in there. Or another wonderful way of doing this is online. So in your e-blast, you should have received, and you can go back, you will receive it again this coming Thursday. Please look for it under Share the Plate. And it'll say click here. So you do that and it'll take you to our website directly for this ballot. And it gives you lots of information about each of the candidates should you choose to look into each one of these candidates more. Today, you do not have that paper in front of you. I suspect many of you know a lot about these candidates, but should you need to know more about these individual candidates, there are some paper copies out in the foyer on that table, all right? Or see me if we should run out. I suspect we won't. But thank you very much. Voting will be open through November 21st, the last day. So I encourage you most certainly to do that online if at all possible. But if not, please make sure to use your ballot. This is the only day that you will receive a hard copy ballot. But in general, a hard copy ballot will be available on the foyer, excuse me, through the service right before November 21st, whatever that is, 18th, 17th, whatever that is. All right? Any questions? See me after the service. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. And now please silence all devices as we center ourselves for today's service and listen to the prelude.
I invite our choir chalice voices forward to sing this morning's prelude, En Nuestra Oscuridad. The title translates as In Our Darkness, and the text translates from Spanish as Light the flame of your love, Lord, in our darkness.
Thank you. Please rise in body or in spirit and join me in the congregational covenant in your order of service. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, seek knowledge in freedom, and serve others in community. Thus do we covenant with one another. Please be seated. Unitarian Universalism is a diverse and non-creedal religion. Our community is founded on deeds, not creeds. We are a covenantal religion, meaning we don't have to believe the same to treat each other the same, with respect, equity, compassion, and dignity. We place love at the center of our values, embracing and welcoming all people. Our board members and committee chairs welcome your questions and comments. Board members wear green name tags. We would like to welcome any guests or visitors here today. If Pat Moore could come forward and take the microphone. Thank you, Pat. So visitors, please wait for the microphone, and if you are willing and able, please rise, share your name, and where you are from. If you have guests with you, please feel free to introduce them. Any guests today, visitors?
Hi, my name's Elisa. You guys know me, but this is my brother Vinny. I don't see him that often because he goes to college at the USC. What do you do?
I do music education, and I work at the string project behind the School of Music.
Good.
Yeah.
Welcome, Vinny.
Good morning. My name is Michelle Ellis. I'm originally from Montgomery, Alabama, and I moved to Lexington about a year ago.
Okay. Well, welcome.
Welcome, Michelle. I'm from Birmingham.
Anyone else? All right. So visitors, if you want to know more about UUCC, please fill out a visitor card and place it in the collection plate. We will email you about our events. Visitor cards are in the pocket on the back of each chair. Today's chalice lighter is Bill Martin. And as Bill comes forward, let's take a minute to thank all of our tech committee. We appreciate them. Spirit of light and life, come unto us.
This morning's opening hymn is in the Teal hymnal. It's number 1001, Breaths, by Isai Barnwell, made famous by a recording by Sweet Honey in the Rock. I invite you to stand in body or spirit to join in singing hymn number 1001.
Listen more often to things than to beings. listen more often to things than to beings. Listen more often to things than to beings. 'Tis the ancestors' breath when the fire's voice is heard. 'Tis the ancestors' breath in the voice of the waters. Zawush, awush, zawush, awush.
Thank you. You may be seated. We welcome you to our Dia de los Muertos service today. It's our day of remembrance, where we take some time to grieve as a community together, to say goodbye, especially to those members that we lost and friends throughout this last year, but also all that we are still grieving, all that we have lost. And so this is an opportunity for us to take those memories and make them speakable, take those names and make them speakable, and do that together as a community. In just a few minutes after our story for all ages, the children are going to help me pass around some little sheets of paper like this, and we will use these in a memorial service toward a time of remembrance later on in the service. These are dissolvable paper, so if you are writing a name on a piece of paper, make sure that you use these. We are going to use these. You can take one of these. You can write multiple names on one piece of paper. You can take a couple of sheets and write names. But whoever you would like to remember today and make it a part of our service, we're going to give you the opportunity to do that. And in that spirit, I invite after our opening words, I'll invite our children to come down for the story for all ages. Our opening words are written by Heather Yanulis, and it's called This Sacred Thread. They once dwelled among us, the people of memory, they who knew us, they who taught us, they who heard us, and they who loved us. They touch our lives time and again through their presence and their absence, through familiar scents and favorite songs, through old stories and renewed sorrow. As the earth turns and leaves fall, we reach back to renew the bonds between us. With hearts and hands open, we hold on to love, ever stronger than death. We reach back in gratitude and understanding. Without our time together, the pain and the joy, we would never know and be who we are today. We would have little to pass on, even ourselves. Without fear, with thanksgiving and with hope for all that awaits, we remember those who have gone before, and we honor the circle of life and death and our place within this sacred thread. I invite our children to come down for our story for all ages. Good morning. We'll make room for everybody here. Hey, good morning. Have a seat. I'm going to stand so you can see. And I've asked Elisa to help me with the book so that I don't try to read and hold a microphone and hold a book. So today, does anybody know what today is called? You can tell by my tie. Yeah. Or you can tell by the book. Does anybody know the name for this special day that we are celebrating in our service? Yep. Come here, Chuck. She's got it. Chuck's going to show you another way to say it. Can you see Chuck over there? Dia de los Muertos. All right. So we're going to learn a little bit about that. Can everybody see the book? All right. So let's dig into our story here. No pressure, Elisa. We're brothers here to see this, so. All right. It's Dia de los Muertos, and the sun's coming around as niños prepare in each pueblo and town. For today, we will honor the dearly departed with celebrations. It's time to get started. So everybody see the pages? All right. Let's see what is involved in our celebration. So at home, we've adorned altars with care. They've heaped with recuerdos and good things to share. Sweet calaveras, so sugary white, they give toothy smiles, but never a fright. Do you see the sweet treats that they're eating? Those look pretty good, right? All right, let's see what else we do. A black and white photo of Grandpa Padilla, who's riding on horseback, just like Pancho Villa. And toys for remembering small angelitos. A train and a dollhouse are both favoritos. Do you see any pictures that we're using in the service today? Look over here on this table. Some people brought pictures that they're of people that they were remembering today, and we have some in our insert as well. All right, let's keep going. I don't think there's any words on that page. Of course, I can't see without my glasses. Then off to the graveyard we head with ofrendas and colorful blankets to make meriendas. We carry incencio and velas to burn that will guide spirits back for their yearly return. Emilio's over there ready to mute my mic with my pronunciations. He's just like shaking his head. Sorry. And burst of calendulas, fragrant and bright, the color of sunsets and gold candlelight. A path of pétalos will help lead our guest to pillows and blankets for taking a rest. See those? They're taking a rest. Pillows and blankets. All right, let's see. Above, we hang streamers of papel picado that wave in the breeze like a rainbow pintado. We giggle at paper-cut banners we like, escuelenos riding a horse, cart, or bike. See those pretty decorations? We share in the foods that our guests love to eat, fresh fruit and tamales, a holiday treat, and clay pots of grandmother's fresh chicken stew with mugs of atole, a chocolatey brew. That all sounds pretty good. Have you noticed something? There's a lot of eating involved in this, right? Yeah, that's right. But everyone's favorite is sugary bread called pan de muerto with bones of the dead that offers our travelers a much-needed snack from the weary viaje that brought them all back. Very cool. Then after our lunch comes the part that we love the most, putting on makeup to dress like what do they dress like? Skeletons or a ghost. That's right. Do you see them? Yeah. Those look awesome. They look like the people on our tie, right? All right, let's keep reading. Fun celebration. In veils and costumes, we join the parade, although we wear... Although we wear these huesos, there's no one who is afraid. Yep. Oh, look at some of these. Gilberto has scars and a special corona. You see him? Annabelle looks like the real Lali Lorona. You see? Look at there. Oh my goodness. Joachim's Snow White barb sweeps down all the way to the floor. Can you believe that? While Luz looks like someone that we've all seen before. Y'all know who she looks like? A skeleton, all right. A famous painter, too. Maybe we can learn about her sometime. And just as the marigold clouds end the day, dancers and musicians come out to play. They wear special shells that go clickety-clack to wake up as the spirits calling them back. As candle flames glistens, our smiles are bright. Our ancestors know that we are with them tonight. And then our last page says, they return to their world without sadness or fear, knowing that they'll stay in our hearts all next year. All right. So that's what this day is all about, remembering those that we are missing, and maybe you're missing some people today, and that you're thinking about them. So that's what today is all about, and I know all these folks here have folks who are on their mind. So can you all help me do something right quick? We have some papers we need to hand out. I need at least 4 good volunteers, maybe 6. Maybe everybody can help. How about that? Just thought who were going to be the 4. All right. I need some folks to go down this aisle, like 3 or 4 folks this way. And you're just going to hand these baskets down and tell the adults they can take some of these papers. So you can start over there and then let them go that way too. There you go. And then we got one more over there. Who's going to help over there? Maybe some of the adults can help too with the kids. All right, come over here. Want to come over here? All right. So hand it down this way. There you go. And they're going to send it back. Take as many as you want. We have plenty. 2 or 3 if you want. Yep. We should have pencils on the back of the chairs. There's pens around as well if you need to write. You're going to be writing the names of those who you are remembering today. For those of the rest of you, thank you for helping. And you can head back. Thank you. We'll keep passing those around, so make sure that you get what you need. And don't confuse them with a collection plate. As we are continuing to pass those around, we will move to a time in our service of lighting candles of community and invite those who have a candle that they would like to share a joy or a concern that they are holding to be able to make that speakable in this community. So come down and please share briefly your joy or your concern and then place your candle here.
Gelisar, getting over, what? Oh yeah. This is for Jim at Gelisar, getting over his heart work.
I'm going next because I need to get back there. This is a candle of sorrow for, you may have heard about the floodings in Spain. They're happening mostly in my hometown where I grew up in Valencia. More than 200 people are dead and many more are expected. So just keep them in your minds.
Good morning. I'm John Starino, and this is multifaceted. I became a person that, I was here for a good while, early 2000, because I was a caregiver for my parents. And this community helped me to support my two, my parents, my mother and my father. And this is dedicated to my parents because this is the 20-year anniversary of their passing. My father was in July. My mother is coming up in the second week of November. And so I've lived long enough to be able to share this candle and share the heart for my family. And I wish to thank you for being here and supporting me during this time. Thank you.
I think 1 or 2 years before the pandemic, this little woman, I think she weighed just a little over 100 pounds. She was in her late 80s. She wandered in and just was curious about who we were. And soon she realized that there was some kind of heart resonance with what was going on. And she decided that she wanted to be a part of the community. She helped us form something called story circles. And I thought just for a moment, anybody that was ever at a story circle, would you stand just so that people could see the effect? Look around. All these lives touched by her wonderful love for the community. Thank you. You can sit. The more I met and got into a deeper friendship with Barbara, I realized how unusual she was, that she was very active as a social activist. In fact, she was quite proud that she was actually jailed with the Poor People Campaign, Dr. Barber, I think in DC. She did her jail time as a protester, and she never quit working on help for poor people, for any of the racial situations. Some of you know that when it was, I think Jamie, somebody was running, she had her huge sign and she was out on Divine with her sign and all the traffic going by. And she was just so spirited and wanting to work for justice for all. Barbara and I shared a lot of different things, but since we live close, I used to bring any extra food that I'd made for Peck and me that was extra. And she got to have a lot of times with us. She loved grapefruits. She loved grapefruits and chocolate. And I just wanted to say that if there's a heaven, I hope it has lots of grapefruits in it. And if it's more to the Buddhist, because she was a follower of Thich Nhat Hanh, maybe in her next life, her karma will even be better for the next life. So here's to Barbara Bates Smith that we were blessed to have for so many years. Thank you.
All right, this is a candle of joy. Janice asked me to light this candle of celebration. She's not going to be back in service until November 17th. She and her partner, Jeff, are currently in Las Vegas for a special trip to witness the USC women's basketball season open against Michigan. So we're lighting a candle of celebration for these female athletes. And Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, Janice and Jeff will utilize the wedding capital of the world to unify their partnership. They're getting hitched.
Hello, I'm Sylvia Elliser, my husband Jim, and I joined about 3 or maybe 4 or 5 months ago, the UUCC. And Jim, this is Larry, who's Jim, one of Jim's good friends here, who he has made a lot of good friends here. And I'm trying. I'm not as outgoing as he is. But anyway, we're both getting to know people, and I wanted to tell you that he had a valve replacement surgery Tuesday, and he's doing very well. And he wanted me to thank everybody for their thoughts and their prayers. And I am so thankful for the surgeons who were able to give him a pig valve. So he's doing good, and Larry is one of his best friends.
Yeah, and I didn't know if Sylvia was going to be here, so I got a candle, and I didn't want to waste a perfectly good candle, so I came up there. But Jim has been a faithful person to come to the forum, and we don't have that many, so it's important that he does well. And he also comes regularly to the men's breakfast, and he's a great guy with a great attitude, and I'm just glad he's doing well.
Sylvia, make sure you know Jim knows he has 3 candles up here. That might be a UU record. No, that's great. All right. Our last candle that we light is for those that we are holding silently in our hearts. I invite you to take a few minutes and remember those things that you've heard shared, those high joys and those deep concerns. As we prepare for our offering today, a reminder that as we move into the month of November, our Share the Plate recipient for this month is the Harvest Hope Food Bank. It's my pleasure to welcome Marcia Bacon up to share a little bit about the good work of Harvest Hope.
Thank you. It's good to be here. I worship just down the street. I'm over at Shannon Prez, so I will have to leave early to go pick them up because they get out a half an hour earlier than you. So Harvest Hope is very grateful for your generosity. This is incredible that you all do this Share the Plate program. We really appreciate it. And we thank you for your recent volunteering. I saw that you were there last month. So thank you for how dedicated you are. Harvest Hope started in 1981, so it's been around for a while, and now we are the largest food bank in South Carolina. And it started here in Columbia with churches like you and the business community who realized there were people who needed extra help just to get food on the table. And so now we serve 20 counties. We're kind of a smile in the middle of the state. So kind of Greenville to Marlboro, if you can imagine, down to Orangeburg and back up again. And we work with 350 agencies in all of those counties to get food out. So as a food bank, we're the ones that get the food. So we're getting it from the grocery stores. We're getting all of the non-expired food. The agencies are getting it from their local communities. And then we get it out to those agencies and the food banks, the soup kitchens, the shelters, all of those that work with us to get it out to them. Now, the food pantry part, which some people think that's all we do. If they go by Shop Road between 9 and 1, you'll see a line of cars. So our Shop Road location and our Greenville location are the only two that do an emergency food pantry where people can come and get a week's worth of food or around a week once a month. And so they think that's all we do, but we do a lot more because we have all of those food pantries that we serve across those 20 counties. We also have a backpack program. Some of y'all are familiar with the schools that have they put a bag in a child's backpack for the weekend to help them have enough nourishing food over the weekend. So we help the agencies who want to do that, the churches. We have a lot of churches that support a school in their community. So they'll buy the backpack items from us, and then we ship them to them, and then they can get them to the school. Because some churches don't have the resources to do their own, to collect all the items, to get them all into the bags, to get them, so we can help them with that. So we have a very large backpack program. We also do senior boxes. So once a month, we pass out senior boxes to those who are registered with us. Then we also have holiday boxes. This is that time of year. So we have a lot of churches and agencies buying holiday boxes. So some of them give them out through the Meals on Wheels program. I saw that was one of your choices. So that's another way that people get food out to those in need. So, and recently with the hurricane, we did a lot of what we called response markets, going out to the western part of the South Carolina to those communities that had no power and no water. And we did a lot of those runs from our Greenville and Columbia location, helping those agencies and those people that needed more help out there. And we'd also told those who were coming to our emergency food pantries, you can come whenever you need to, because a lot of them lost everything they had just gotten, right? They lost everything in their refrigerator. So we wanted them to come and we helped them to restock. So 1 in 8 South Carolinians is food insecure, and 1 out of 5 children. So the need is great, but that's actually better than it used to be in South Carolina. So we thank you for your support that is helping us to make those numbers better, to eliminate hunger in South Carolina and in our country. That would be great. And so just thank you for all that you do. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Marcia, and it is our pleasure to partner with Harvest Hope in the good work. Invite our ushers to come and receive our morning offering.
This morning's offertory music selection is Pavane for a Dead Princess by Maurice Ravel.
receive our offering today, symbol of our commitment to our good work. The writer and journalist with the Atlantic, Ta-Nehisi Coates, has written recently about 3 trips that he's taken, which would be definitely of interest to us, because one of those 3 places is South Carolina, as he came and visited a board meeting I believe in Lexington County, where one of his books was being banned. Showed up at a board meeting to see how the vote would go and surprised the audience there. I have been invited to attend the board meeting to speak or to offer a vote, and only so many hours in the day, and so I didn't make the commitment to attend. But if I'd known he was going to show up. But he also traveled to 2 other places, Palestine, and then he also traveled to Senegal in Africa, where he had traced some of his ancestry. And standing on the coast of Africa and looking back across the Atlantic toward his home in Maryland, he had ventured down by himself after dinner to have that kind of reflection and meditation and experience of looking back and trying to connect, but also trying to learn a little bit more about his history and look inside himself and see what he felt. And in writing his book, one of the lines that stood out to me, he said, I was not sad because I was alone, but because I wasn't alone. Recognizing that he was surrounded by ancestors, by family, by brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and grandparents and great-grandparents whose spirit was there, bringing that sadness with him. It is a great reminder for us that any time, especially days like this, when we are remembering those who have died, we are bringing their presence into this place. So this is one of those Sundays, not that we put a whole lot of credence on how many people attend our services, but we do keep account. And this is always the high attendance Sunday, because not just who is present here, but we're counting everybody that you're bringing into this space with you. So I think Larry is typically the one doing the count. So just maybe 3 people per person that's here. And we'll make sure that that number is pretty close. I think that's not quite enough, but we'll just limit it to 3 people per person and crowd this space today with our memories and our connection. The Buddhist Thich Nhat Hanh was mentioned earlier by Rebecca as a great memory of Barbara, who followed Thich Nhat Hanh's work. And I want to share a little bit of his reflection on his mother's death. He writes, "The day my mother died, I wrote in my journal, 'A serious misfortune of my life has arrived.' I suffered for more than 1 year after the passing away of my mother. But one night in the highlands of Vietnam, I was sleeping in the hut in my hermitage, and I dreamed of my mother. I saw myself sitting with her, and we were having a wonderful talk. She looked young and beautiful, her hair flowing down. It was so pleasant to sit there and talk to her as if she had never died. When I woke up, it was about 2 a.m, and I felt very strongly that I had never lost my mother. The impression that my mother was still with me was very clear. I understood then that the idea of having lost my mother was just an idea. It was obvious in that moment that my mother is always alive in me. I opened the door and I went outside. The entire hillside was bathed in moonlight. It was a hill covered with tea plants, and my hut was set behind the temple halfway up. Walking slowly in the moonlight through the rows of tea plants, I noticed my mother was still with me. She was the moonlight caressing me as she had done so often, very tender, very sweet, wonderful. Each time my feet touched the earth, I knew my mother was there with me. I knew this body was not mine, but a living continuation of my mother and my father and my grandparents and my great-grandparents, of all my ancestors. Those feet that I saw as my feet were actually our feet. Together, my mother and I were leaving footprints in the damp soil. And from that moment on, the idea that I had lost my mother no longer existed. All I had to do was look at the palm of my hand, feel the breeze on my face, or the earth under my feet to remember that my mother is always with me, available at any time. That's why we have services like today. It is not to try to avoid the pain of death, because it is very real, to avoid the loss, because it is a loss, and it is a loss that needs to be grieved. But in the midst of the heavy loss and the sense of hopelessness and despair, we find the sprig and the hope of connection, that we will always stay connected to those who we love, that we always will stay connected no matter what has happened, including our death or theirs. We always stay connected. So I invite you today, as we do our memorial time, and then you bring your names of people that you are remembering and place them in the water here, to not just place their name as a memorial, but recognize that you're inviting their presence into this place. Bring your memories with you with that piece of paper. Bring your connections, bring your thoughts, bring all that you have that is still a part of them and ways that they are a part of you into this space today as we remember. I will begin our time of remembering this morning with 4 of our members that we are staying connected to today, that we said goodbye to in this past year. You see the insert in our program. You recognize that we are saying goodbye to 4 of our members, and they will begin our time of memorial today. Today we are remembering John Ureta. Barbara Bates Smith. Julian Mingy. And Tootsie Holland. And now I invite you this morning, if you would like to come. We're not going to say these names out loud over the microphone. We're going to have music that Anna is beautifully providing for us this morning. But if you would like, as you place the papers into the water this morning, please feel free to speak these names out loud and feel that closeness and feel that connection in our memories. Love is costly, and maybe the most challenging cost is the pain of our grief, but it's also very, very beautiful. I hope that you feel close and you feel connected, and we will share in a responsive reading today. If you will turn with me in your hymnal toward the back, number 720, one of our favorites in times of remembering and staying connected. In the rising of the sun and in its going down, we remember them. In the opening of buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them. In the rustling of leaves and in the beauty of autumn, we remember them. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we have joys we yearn to share, we remember them. So long as we live.
Our closing hymn is number 96, I Cannot Think of Them as Dead. Please rise in body or spirit to join in singing.
It's my job to extinguish the chalice each Sunday, and even though I successfully do that with this chalice, as I walk through and talk to you all, it is so apparent to me that the flame is still lit in your hearts, in your conversations, and in your actions. And in the same way, death cannot rob us of our loved ones. They are with us in our conversations, in our hearts, and in our actions, and hopefully today you feel their warmth.
Please join in singing our congregational benediction.
I'd like to thank you all for being part of our service today. If you're visiting with us for the first time or the second time or the third time, and you still would like to stick around and get to know us and give us a chance to get to know you, we would definitely appreciate that. Thanks to all who helped this service happen. And Larry, make sure you give us a good big number on attendance today. Three per person at least. And the bowl of water here is evidence of that. I leave you with your connections. And remember, not only are you connected to those that you are remembering today, but look to your right, look to your left. You are connected in community as well.
Thank you.